Heroes knows, I think they're like 5-0 now with the Heroes, specifically on Beaver Banger. They were thinking about that second ban. I mean, Serenity actually spent a little bit of extra time even, so really curious. But in the end, he actually does ban the Oogie. You got Magmus, Cthulhu, Oogie, and Swiftblade overall, the bans here. But a couple of heroes that were banned last game coming out as far as the first picks go, including Kraken by Rexars. Parasite Response coming out from Nullstone Gaming, though. So, you know, kind of see a transition here as far as a couple of different heroes, again, as a result of how they were banned out last game. So, welcome back, Mini. 68-minute game one there. We'll see how long this one is.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's kind of strange that we see a hero, particularly like Oogie, blind ban, but it was such an impactful hero in the first game. But I mean, when another team does have to ban like a hero like this, it obviously does open up other heroes like obviously say Kraken and Parasite, and I think Nullstone Gaming can sort of abuse that. But normally, only if they're on Legion, so you got Kraken and Tempest picked up here for Rexar, so already a lot of team fight potential. Like both of these elements from Kraken and Tempest are quite similar. Obviously, both go through both go through Strong and Head. Both are sort of AoE in that respect and can do a lot of work as well. So I wonder how Nullstone are going to try and play around this. Looks like they picked up a lot of sort of ganking presence to do with Parasite and Glacier, so less focused on team fight perhaps and more focused on ganking, but we'll have to see how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about Oogie, like, yeah, obviously it had such big impact in the game, but there's a lot of heroes that we don't really see sort of countering. Like, I don't know why they didn't. I mean, I think Dark Lady was picked up, so they couldn't really pick it. But Blood Hunter is incredibly strong counter against him, though, because obviously it silences him for 9 seconds. Like, 9 seconds of silence, that's ridiculous, right? And then secondly, if he tries to run, then obviously he's got the hemorrhage as well. And I mean, if you pair that with like another strong physical sort of hitting Harry, then like Oogie's just going to be sitting. It's like a sitting duck in that respect. But
yeah,
no one sees Blood Hunter anymore. But it's just kind of strange. Like when we don't see like with Oogie, we barely ever see him on sort of the competitive scene. So when he is picked up, not a lot of people are already out to counter him. So I guess that's why when we do see a good hero like Oogie break up out into the scene, it's just almost automatically banned because people would rather ban it out than play around it or play against it in that respect. But
yeah, exactly. There's just not enough time, and you know, maybe that is on the teams, maybe that is on the players for maybe just not thinking about it enough. But you like to think that Rexars was prepared going into this game, that knowing that Oogie was a very likely possibility, and sure enough, we did see it there in that game number one. Again, like you said, they tried, they went with the Dark Lady. It seemed like on paper it should be a powerful option. And hey, you could argue they should have won that game. Honestly, you know, it's obviously well played by Nullstone, but so. But just banning it out is the easier way to deal with it. Is the safer way, of course. So that they do here, and they are on the Legion side this time around too. So it makes banning that a little easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Like because obviously if they have to ban out Oogie, then obviously one of the heroes is still left on the board, and so in that respect, it's almost good because they can still get sort of more advantage from first pick, and in this case it was Kraken, but they pick up Gemini actually.
Yep.
This is the hero we actually really, I mean, to me anyway, it seems more signature than Oogie because like Beaver Bang on his Gemini was like pretty feared, but obviously he's got to add Oogie to his repertoire now as well. But
well, yeah, Gemini was the original with this team, and now Oogie's kind of taken over as a new school, but yeah, Gemini definitely powerful with that. You see him coming out here. So bans following up now. Pebbles, there's a Cersei ban, so showing some respect there from that game one, and really so. Again, it's just one of these support options that is just very annoying to deal against, if anything. So, God, that one fight where we had like 4 roots come out, 2 from either keeper, that was ridiculous.
And then the keeper,
and then the keeper,
and then
another keeper, and then another keeper, and then another keeper, just because the rootception there coming out. Yeah, that was
rootception.
Something. Drunken Master Dark Lady coming out, so Null even banning out the Dark Lady once again. Here, as far as that's concerned, this is a very Forsaken Archer-esque team. I'm just saying.
Oh man, no, that hero is so garbage, man. Like, just pick up Moon Queen instead, and it does exactly the same.
Except just a
Farmer's
lot better.
Probably better team fight as well.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Flint Bees to it. I mean, we saw, or we didn't see, but we heard about Willowkeeper picking that up last weekend.
Man, I don't understand why do teams not pick up Silhouette, man. That hero is incredibly strong. Like, I think honestly, it's one of the strongest heroes in the game right now.
I think she's arguably, as far as heroes out there, though, that are very powerful potential and you can play, she's one of the more difficult ones to play.
High skill.
Yeah, to play effectively, so you got to have the experience on her. You got to be comfortable playing her. She's not just a carry that's like, oh, let's just go Moon Queen because all you do is really right-click anyway. So, Yeah, she's not. She's definitely on a different level in that sense. So maybe that's a little bit to do with it. But yeah, no doubt she seems like she's overlooked to an extent, especially how she finished last cycle. I thought we were going to see her a lot this cycle, but
I just
never
don't
mind.
get it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Dawn got knocked out right away by this Rexar's team,
true.
to be fair, so maybe that's something to do with
that's
it.
true. That's true. But I still think he's so strong, man.
There's a doctor pick coming out, so that's their carry choice here.
Yeah, Dr. Pulse is actually quite decent against Gemini because he's a sort of natural Hellflower and Sheepstick carrier, and obviously both of those items are great against Gemini because if he does split off in his dogs, then one of them becomes instantly vulnerable because both of them have to be not stunned to actually sort of form back in. So obviously you can lock down one, and you won't be able to split back into or sort of form back into his main dog. So kind of a semi-counter to Gemini in that respect, but Chipper picked up here actually. So they are going to go with a little bit more ganking oriented lineup because I mean I guess once the first two pickups from Kraken and Tempest are picked up the board, you can't really contest in terms of team fight, in terms of strategy for Nullstone. So
Yeah.
I do like what they've done. They've gone for more of an aggressive ganking style of lineup, but it just depends how many kills can they get before the team fight of Rexars are coming up. But man, Nymphora pick up as well. So even themselves, they've got some good ganking potential with Dr. Repulsor and Nymphora now as well. And obviously, it's going to be hard for Nullstone Game to really take team fights against the Kraken Tempest.
I think
good draft.
it might have been Shrek's Love actually that ran the Doctor Nymphora.
Yeah, they did.
BMG.
Yeah,
I remember jumping into that.
I
game,
love
yeah.
that. Cluckmuck loves his Cluckmuck's love is
Yeah.
Nymphora Doctor. Anyway, so he does it in TMM all the time. He's such cancer. Like you face him in TMM and he just picks up Nymphora Doctor like every single game. So cancer, man.
Now,
But,
God, I'm still so surprised to see that only 3 games in total that Hero's been played. It seems like her potential is just. It would be more games than that.
Second support. He's a second support, really. So, and obviously we always see junglers. I mean, we are going to see him in the solo support role here, but it is going to obviously make them or force them to run a dual lane in the short lane, which isn't probably as preferred as a dual lane in the middle lane, but still not too bad. And but yeah, but Nymphora is normally viewed as a secondary support, and obviously as there's so many junglers in the game, it's the jungle meta at the moment, so it's kind of understandable why we don't see him too much. But yeah, the hero's great, man, and particularly paired with Dr. Repulsor as well. Really, really strong. It's like, to me, like the Nymphora Dr. Repulsor is even better than the Pebbles Nymphora combo because it has almost better gank potential and has a better late game potential as well, and can take effect of the Nymphora mana as well a lot better than Pebbles. So it's like Nymphora Pebbles 2.0.
I don't know about that, honestly.
It is, man. You'll see. In TMM,
the early potential, man. I mean, of the Pebbles Nymphora, the fact that he doesn't need to get the bottle or the power supply or anything like that, he just gets the boots and the portal key. I mean, that's pretty strong. But yeah,
like,
both are strong.
I mean, like, I can't remember the exact mana cost, but like at max level Grace of the Nymph, it gives like 500-600 mana. Like for Dr. Repulsor, that's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's what is it? It's 300 mana over 4 seconds,
300.
so not that much.
Bit of an over-exaggeration.
But
A bit of an over-exaggeration, but yeah, I honestly think it's so much better than the Pebbles Nymphora. Like we saw the BMG Pebbles Nymphora, and it didn't do too much work, really, did it? They were against Nullstone, wasn't they, as well? I remember.
I believe so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was just the case that they couldn't really use it eventually. It's just a good play by Nullstone. Yeah, that's true.
But Doctor and Nymphora, however,
that's different. Everything's going to change now. No. I was going to say.
So yeah, final pick with Pharaoh actually. So yeah, a lot of ganking potential. Like every one of these heroes, obviously besides Gemini, have good potential, but at the same time, their team fight is really, really weak. Like the biggest team fight is obviously Parasite and Pharaoh stopping Tempest Ultimate, but then they don't really have the greatest AoE compared to, say, obviously, that the Rex are. So unless they are incredibly high up in terms of golden experience from kills, then they're going to have a lot of problems in terms of actually sort of team fighting. And at the same time, if they're not going to team fight, then they need to have great sort of split push. And outside of Gemini, it's just not enough, really. So yeah, I know it can work very, very well, but it really depends on how many kills they can get early on. And I guess we'll have to see how many they can get. The fuck?
I don't even know how to respond to that, but once again, guys, this is game number 2 of our matchup here of Nullstone versus Rexar. So you look at the brackets here, and of course the Winter bracket finals later on today. Willowkeeper versus Sink, and no doubt intriguing one there. That's obviously a rematch. I mean, those teams have played it quite a bit here throughout Haunter Season 3. Last cycle, Willowkeeper definitely a disappointing finish, getting knocked out in the 5th, 6th place spot. So, yeah, there was some question marks about them going into this cycle, if that was going to be a continuing thing. We talked about that on the podcast, amongst many things, but I was honestly, I was a little worried for them after that. But at the same time, here they are now. And I will say, they defeated Night Raid, which is definitely a very solid team to get here. But Night Raid, and then defeating Shrek is Love, in the second round. So, take that how you will. But, so their journey necessarily hasn't been as difficult as maybe as it could have been. But at the same time, hey, Shrek is Love deserved to be there for defeating Bad Monkey Gaming. So, again, that's one of those classic cases of like, well, was it difficult for them? Was it not? Anyways, so I guess the point I'm getting at really is how they're going to contend later today against Sink. And that's going to be curious for me to follow, but as I'm sure a lot of people. But anyways, again, that's later on today. It's set for 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European time, as always. Are we going to actually see what I think?
Nah.
No. Okay, nah. They were they were almost. I mean, Pharaoh's always
they do have
a good
Pharaoh.
Option, but they choose not to.
Oh,
and
Tempest.
Tempest! No.
Oh, my. Oh, man.
Oops.
They could have easily got that kill, though. They spec Tundra Blast on Glacius, and then they do a Twin Fangs from Gemini. That's a guaranteed kill. They do not need to make that.
Well, and Pharaoh's 10 movement speed faster than Tempest. I mean, he had the chase. That's
a misplay, honestly. Big misplay.
That could have been a huge bloodlust kill to start things out. But what's done is done. And life moves on here.
So they're going to do aggressive tri-lane with Parasite. I do like the decision because they need to get aggressive from the get-go. They can't obviously sit back and let Rexhards farm up and get their team fight items, and because they won't be able to stop them in terms of team fight. So I like them trying to focus and sort of shut them down in the laning phase. Good call. Nymphora Doctor Pulse is incredibly weak as well until level 6. So good play coming up from Nelson already. I like the decision.
Going aggressive yet again, as they do. With the Gemini down, as you're pointing out. So obviously having Parasite in the aggressive jungle as well definitely helps with that. So Pharaoh going to be 1v1 against Kraken here in the middle lane. And at the top side, you got Chipper versus the Bubbles up here. So both these pretty solid matchups. Tempest, of course, in the opposing jungle, and that's for good reason here. You see he's going to actually get some good farm right off the bat. A nice spawn right there for him to start things off. Parasite going to look around. He's probably trying to find Tempest here, at least see if he's in the jungle, but as we know, obviously he's not there, and he's probably just going to start with this farm now. The Minotaurs.
I really hope Parasite stays in this jungle as well, because if he goes back into the Hellborn jungle, it's going to sort of shut out Tempest, but the more important factor is to shut down this Doctor Repulse and Nymphora combo, because these two are the playmakers now for Rexars. They've got great team fight from Kraken and sort of Bubbles and Tempest, but they need to shut down the Doctor Repulse and Nymphora, because if they have a good start, then it's going to be hard for Northern Gaming to really play their gameplay. But if they shut him down, then Rexars don't really have too much going for him. So I would like to see Parasite stay in this jungle and really try and harass and put pressure on the Doctor Repulse and Nymphora combo.
Yeah. This is an interesting lane setup down here, definitely. The Gemini Glacius versus the Doctor Nymphora down here. So Doctor so far 2-2, Gemini 2-0. Obviously a very early start here, but expecting the Nullstone Gaming aggressive dual lane to have a good chance, really a pseudo trial lane, as you're pointing out, with the Parasite there. Middle lane, Kraken actually charged out of those mummy walls for good reason. Of course, Kraken has that ability, and he actually missed the 20-minute soul to cancel the health potion. That's what he's going for, but health potion will instead go in full, so that's a couple of good plays there for Kraken coming out. That might give him the earlier on advantage that he's really looking for. Again, Kraken already one of these melee versus melee 1v1 heroes that is very powerful for that with that splash ability, so understandable if he's having the better time, which it looks like he is. 10-1, now 12-1 compared to a 7-1 Pharaoh right here. Only the second time we've seen an aggressive Tempest jungle, obviously for good reason here.
That's only because Parasite has moved over though.
Yeah.
Tempest wouldn't purposely aggressive jungle, obviously, but we see Parasite's actually rotated over, but I really dislike this decision because he's not going to be able to keep up in terms of farm with Tempest. So instead of trying to out-farm Tempest, he should try and have better aspects in terms of ganking, which obviously Tempest won't be able to. He's going to find him here, but already Tempest is level 3 and Parasite's level 2, so him just following around Tempest is just not the way to go, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Chipper is coming over, but early engagement.
He should be fine, yeah. No stuns or anything obviously coming out at that point. In fact, launches one of those carrot rockets back at him and Actually does a little bit of damage, and so sure enough, though, exactly, Parasite making its way to the Hellborn jungle, as you were talking about. You know, maybe is this the better decision? You could argue, but well, he's back in here now, and so Tempest's going to make his own rotation now at this time. But this does open up the bottom lane, you can guarantee. Now Doctor and Info are feeling a little more safe. They know Parasite, at least for the time being, is at the top lane. Speaking of that, here comes the gank attempt on it. Bubbles, a lot of burst damage. Didn't get the take cover off in time. Will it be enough to escape, though? The Denver Pro, one more auto attack. He ain't going to get it, though. Good job in the end. Again, a little bit of panic mode there, but he does survive the onslaught. And the possible Bloodlust kill to be coming out right there, so well played. But again, more reason why the bottom lane here on the Legion side should feel more comfortable that not worried about getting ganked here.
But that's what I mean, like Parasite, he's going to try and have impact on the top lane, but he's not going to be able to kill Bubbles before level 6. And now Tempest is rotated back, and if you think about it, actually, second now it's all bottom lane, actually.
Yeah, this heal's done unsuccessful enough, and Dr. Pulse lockdown is real. However, they do get the Bloodlust kill on Glacius. So it was successful enough in the end of the final auto attack to finish off Gemini. Tormented Soul, though, it does snook out Dr. Pulsar right there. So at least a 2-for-1 exchange in the end. But obviously, the initial play coming out from Rexar is there. Beautiful in there. But again, this Yulstein was pretty big in the end. So apologize, a little confused there initially. But doing some work. And actually, he'll even get some alone farm as Doctor's now TPing back in as soon as he resurrects. But
this Parasite just... This is what happens, like him leaving the bottom lane has just made it to be actually a defensive tri lane now for Rexars with Tempest in their own jungle. So Gemini and Glacius are actually a lot more troubled. Like you saw Tempest rotated over, and I mean, look, it's a defensive tri lane. What can Nullstone do with only 2 heroes? And Tempest is coming in now again, and this is going to be a further kill for Glacius.
Yeah, there's a lockdown on Glacius. Heal's going to fall. That's 100% a kill. Gemini can't really do much. Oh my God, is it actually a kill? Yes, finally.
It's just like, why did Parasite rotate over? Like he initially went over to sort of shut down Tempest, but now Tempest is back in his own jungle. Then why doesn't he go over there? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have an aggressive dual lane, you have to have the jungle Parasite in the enemy jungle as well, because it's just not going to work otherwise. Because this can happen over and over again as long as Rexars can keep lane control. So yeah, really questionable decisions come out from Nullstone already. Honestly,
5.5 minutes in right here. Obviously, Rexar is having the better start as a result of it all. Pharaoh's going to try to make something happen, but in the end, not going to be able to do enough right here against Kraken. Kraken, you know, overall a very successful hero on the scene. And again, we've talked about it before. You know, players like Kazu's made a strong point, arguably one of the strongest heroes in the scene right now, as far as just overall what he does. 17-7 from that middle lane here in the 1v1 at least. So, setting themselves up for a pretty good time. Again, that was their first pick, as you would expect. Coming out right here, and actually going for some bottom room control. We'll see if he's successful with that or not. At least a refreshment rune's good, sure, but something like a haste rune would definitely guarantee a kill right here. Now, it's going to be a refreshment rune, so Gemini for the time being will be fine. Top rune in the meantime. Battle up here. Double damage was picked up by Bubbles. Great job with the Wrath of the Pharaoh, though they catch him in place, and Bubbles is going to go down. So it definitely comes at a cost to get that rune, and Pharaoh's definitely making some big plays here early on.
Yeah, definitely. But now they've left like Gemini Suicide, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is the person who's going to be able to, late game carry against the incredibly strong team fight from Rexars. Yeah, if this goes 50 to 60 minutes, then maybe they can team fight because of the strength from Gemini. But if he's not getting focused on priority in terms of farm, then they don't have much going for him in terms of Nullstone gaming. Like, I know Chipper can't really Suicide down here either, but this is the problem when obviously Parasite rotated over, and now Gemini sort of just doesn't really have a place in terms of where to farm, and now he's sort of roaming, so it's just like a support Gemini at the moment. It seems very, very strange breaking.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, though. I feel like we've mentioned this so many times, though, with Nullstone. Again, it feels like they're just a team that likes to run the aggressive dual lane. We've seen the Gemini long lane before, and we've seen it kind of get off to a slow start. We bring that up, and yes, sometimes it actually just doesn't work out, and they ultimately lose the game. But I want to say there's actually been a couple of instances where we have seen that before, and before you know it, he does get to the late game where he's able to shine. So we are seeing that transition now kind of happen here at least, and Gemini is picking up some farm here in the middle lane. So did they lose a lot of room early on? I mean, the lead's not crazy by any means, but still. That Dr. Pulse at the same time is now 425 gold per minute.
Yeah,
so.
And that's the scariest thing, honestly, because they initially did an aggressive tri-lane down here to sort of shut down the Doc, forcing him for a combo, but in terms of that's failed miserably. Like you said, 450 GPM on Doc's Repulsor, and then 4 is closing in on level 6 as well, and when that happens, then nowhere is safe in terms of the map for Nullstone Gaming. So yeah, I mean, the laning situation just didn't really have the biggest impact. Yeah, Pharaoh is sort of laning down here, but even middle is a little bit risky for Gemini, because if he gets picked up from Kraken, he can easily fall down. So
yeah. Illusion rune control by Cholo Samion here, playing the Pharaoh again. He's been a big factor early on. He's 1-0-1 here. Of course, got that go at the bottom onto Dr. Repulsor out of the Tormented Soul and assisting for the Kona Bubbles. But speaking of the bottom lane, that's going to be going down. However, Kraken does get caught by Pharaoh, as we're just talking about him, but not enough for the kill. The pull is successful, and now Pharaoh's on the run. Kraken will barely survive, but at what cost here? Dr. Repulsor, he does go down. Big stun from Gemini. Out comes the Twin Breath, and now Nymphora in trouble. So that's exactly what Null Gaming needed, and it's going to continue, it looks like, as Chipper ports in, and he picks up the double tap, the rockets, the chainsaws, everything being used, and a double tap for him as a result. What a turnaround there for Nullstone Gaming. That was crazy. I mean, Kraken barely living. He does live in the end, but it ends up losing heroes for them, so not worth the exchange.
Just great rotations, honestly, like from Pharaoh and Chipper, really utilising their early game sort of advantage, and as a result, gets a couple of kills on the board, and that's exactly what they need, because like if the team fight and the core items are starting to be picked up from Rexos can just go as 5 and Nullstone might be able to do too much, but with this obviously it delays the core items from Rexos and increases the golden experience, as I said before, which they need if they want to take these team fights. They need to be like 6, 7, 8k ahead in terms of golden experience if they want to take team fights against Rexos because of the sort of composition they have, but they're going to go try and gank middle lane as well, actually.
And they got the possibility to do it. You see the freeze coming out, Kraken can't charge as a result. Mummy Walls, he can't charge through that, but he can't get it off in time. Well executed by Nullstone right there. Again, Kraken ability to charge through the Mummy Wall is powerful, but with the lockdown initially, too much damage coming out right there.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually, the mechanics. So when he charges out, he actually gets hit by the end of the Wall of Mummies, if this makes sense. So, you know, Wall of Mummies, if you get hit by it, you take like 55
Oh, he does
damage.
actually? Okay.
Yeah, so he charges out, and then just when he comes out of it, like obviously he's close enough to the Wall of Mummies, so then he gets pushed out as well. Yeah. So it's kind of, obviously it's good that he can charge out, but he's still going to take damage from it, so it's something to be noted as well.
Burn, haha.
And mana burn, yeah.
Mana burn. So yeah, good execution again, and you know, I was saying earlier, Cholo Samion playing the Pharaoh, he's a big part for the early keeping them in, and now he's a big part as why they have a lead all of a sudden. And so about that Gemini farm, I mean, again, it's still somewhat struggling. He's doing his best to recover here. But Chipper especially kind of making up for that in a sense. He's actually working towards most likely a early tablet here, as he's got that major totem picked up, going for the top lane. Bubbles is level 6. He's playing pretty passive. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this kill or not. Yeah, probably not. By now he's kind of seen them even. So yeah, he's playing it safe and safe enough to ultimately stay alive right there. Parasite, you can't forget about him as well. 275 gold from him. He's got the Ghost March, really blood chalice. 1,200 more gold saved up on what you got. So his potential definitely there as well. And he, for now, is going to continue to farm. Yeah, he wasn't involved in the bottom lane. He's the only hero actually not down there. He just couldn't get there in time. So. And even without him, able to do what they did. So yeah, the Doctor, the scariness of the Doctor Nymphora, I mean, especially with the start, it's slowing down a little bit. And granted, Doctor does have now 1,500 gold saved up. I mean, so Doctor...
We haven't seen one gank yet.
Yeah, well, that too. But, you know, also I was going to get at, though, Dr. Repulsor, you know, we've seen sometimes a Grimoire. We talk about Hellfire. It seems like this game... You think Icon really? Okay.
Yeah, because they're going to be getting the kills, hopefully, anyway. That's the sort of the game plan. It's like, they pick up the Nymphora Dr. Repulsor and sort of play it as a Nymphora Pebbles in that respect. And obviously, I mean, I do like the Icon picker, but only if they're going to secure these kills to, you know, stack up the charges. And with Nymphora, they should easily be able to get the kills. Like, I mean, Gemini at the top lane, like, this could be honestly an easy kill with Dr. Repulsor and Nymphora if they both sort of coordinate and stagger their stuns. There's only a couple of TPs from Nullstone. Like, as long as they get the kills, then definitely the Icon is good. But it looks like he's going to go for a Hellflower, which is also decent as well. Obviously good against Gemini, and obviously helps in terms of their ganks as well. I mean, he might even go back for an Icon eventually, but he definitely shouldn't go Grimoire here because he's not going to be sort of the late game hard carry. He's going to be the sort of the playmaker with Nymphora, so either the Hellflower or Icon would have been a good choice here.
That's what I was getting at. You know, I was definitely thinking the Hellflower here, so, you know, seeing the Arcana, because for that reason alone, I mean, usually it's considered a pretty strong item on it, but especially when you got the Nymphora TPing you around, you know, you get the extra lockdown on the Hellflower to guarantee the kill even, so. Yeah, he did get the Arcana here. Maybe it'll do Spell Shards. Probably not, but he's still sitting at the bottom lane, and Electric Turds, no, I thought he laid one there, but never mind.
Electric.
Dude, it should have been named. I don't know why it's named. What is it? Magnetic Contraption. That's just so long, so unnecessary. Just call it Electric Turd. Get done with it. Pharaoh doing his best to kind of keep them scared here, but
I mean, I can understand why they haven't gone for the gank, because I think Nelson are sort of playing quite defensive in that respect, and obviously they all have TPs as well. But I mean, you want to sort of similar to sort of Portal Key, Pebbles, and Nymphora, like you want to instantly sort of go for a pick-off once the Portal Key is picked up on Pebbles, and the same is here with when Nymphora gets level 6 in that respect. But they've really found the opportunity. Like, even if they go for a gank, then it sort of shows and puts fear into the hearts of Nullstone. But them just sort of sitting here in AFK farming, it's like, why did they pick up the Nymphora anyway? Like, it just seems a little bit strange. Like, it's been 13 minutes and they haven't really gone for any kind of gank with the Nymphora Doctor Repulsor. I mean, Nymphora is sitting down here bottom, expecting to go for one, but not to see one yet.
Oh, speaking of ganks, middle lane attempt. Kraken does charge out. Here comes the response. Bubbles in with the kill field. The follow-up, though, not the prettiest. Kraken finally gets there. Here comes Dr. Repulsor as well. The TP point in front of Nymphora, and they get the one kill on Glacius. They're going for the second on the chipper. I don't know. It's going to be close, though, because here comes the supporting cast now. The Hellborn team as Pharaoh jumps in with that Wrath of the Pharaoh. Tempest couldn't do a damn thing, and he eventually falls. And Parasite, yep, they found Nymphora, and now they're going for Kraken. He should be fine though as he TP's out. So, but yeah, Nymphora, what happened there? I didn't actually know.
Oh man, I think it was a straight rocket trying to hit Tempest. They actually missed Tempest and then it went and hit Nymphora and killed him. It was so funny.
Well, they'll take it. Man. Yeah, those rockets, man, especially against the squish. Yeah. That's 180 magic damage. One alone, and you get a burst in there. I mean, it drops you quickly. So.
Yeah, like, because actually Kraken charged onto like Parasite went onto Nymphora, and then Kraken charged Parasite to save Nymphora. And Nymphora was running. The chipper rocket like missed Tempest and then accidentally hit Nymphora. It's so funny to see. Gotta make it nice.
Doctor going for the strongholds here though. Pharaoh in the meantime, he gets charged in. He probably will fall. So the one casualty at least, but in the end they got the tower kill and they do fall back as a team. So overall, Nullstone Gaming, I think pretty happy with the result there, coming up to 15-minute mark. And Pharaoh's kind of one of those heroes too. Having him sacrifice is not the end of the world. So he has another 1,600 gold saved up. Puzzle box is being worked on here by Parasite in the meantime. So I wonder if the possible Alchemist Bones pick up from Santa Bubbles is going to be coming up here. Did they deny the tower hole?
No. I'm surprised actually when he did that auto attack. I'm surprised he didn't actually sort of jump out of the cannon, and that obviously would have been a neutral deny in the sense that they don't even get the deny gold from it. But I guess
that could have been risky though.
Yeah. So it's understandable, I guess. But
it's like,
if he wanted to be like super cheesy, he could have done that. But.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. I mean, I know that's been brought up several times before.
I like it, though.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to it's kind of one of those intended things.
Nice features.
Stated, so yeah, nice added feature that kind of is there, and maybe no one really knew about initially, but hey, it's there. Second Arcana finished on a Dr. Repulsor right here, so we'll see if. Well, definitely the Hellfire is coming out. It's a matter of time, though, before they get that. Pharaoh bottom lane, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Never mind, they're just going to farm it out, and they'll be happy with that. Gemini's got the Energize here. His GPM again. It's been slow here, but it's been raising. 280 gold per minute now, and here goes the top tower push by them. Tempest is already setting up, though. Doctor currently bottom, but here we go with an Nymphora TP. That's some awesome music with them, by the way. Oh, man, yeah. What you got doing the catapult thing. Gets another tower kill.
Has he been in this catapult?
I'm pretty sure he's been in this ballista. He's done this before, too. We've talked about it. He's been in this ballista for like 20 minutes straight before. And he's probably going for that again. Here they're going to open on Nymphora. Yeah, he's not even going to jump out because there's no reason to. That's going to be a kill anyways. I love it. I freaking love it.
This is my home. This is my home.
OP, man, with that regen now. He does some good damage. He's good at pushing towers, and it's magic immune,
Yeah, it also gives them some pushing potential as well, which they don't actually have. So, double catapult, man.
Hilarious. Freaking hilarious. You know what? I've never actually realized it's basically like a small Congor underneath the catapult. I'm kind of, or the ballista. I'm like zoomed in right now.
Oh my god,
it's
what?
It's like a gorilla.
What the hell?
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. I don't know. It's the same thing with the Hell Cannon, I guess. I've never really looked at that. It's like...
Oh, there's a little golem under the
It's like yeah, it's like an ogre dude or something.
What the hell?
Learn something new every day.
Oh my...
I've only been casting this game for 5.5 years. I think that's one of those things that's changed recently. Like, not recently, but I think that came with like 3.0 or something. So.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Anyways.
But cool.
Good stuff. That's what we commented on. The aesthetics, nothing else. Puzzle blocks finished by Parasite, speaking of him, and he's still in that damn catapult. Is he? No, he's finally out. Okay. That's a level 1 puzzle blocks, and that's a timeout right there. So, quick pause happening. Samian going to be reconnecting. Yeah, he's the only player. I don't think he's the only player that's actually not from America. And so he's, we talk about with them in the American team, they get USCs and whatnot, and the latency usually in their favor, but he's usually actually like 200 plus, I believe, no matter what. I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but
okay.
He
Peru
seems to be up there as far as the latency goes. Yeah. Going to be reconnecting here, I'm sure, shortly. And hell, he has 2,200 gold saved up himself. Obviously, they already got a puzzle box on Parasite, so it could be going something like a Barbed Army here. Or even that Staff of the Master, always a solid choice. On a Pharaoh's Hellflower finished, I believe it is. Yeah, here comes that third Arcana. No, that's just a Mystic Vestment. Never mind. Did he buy back or something? Oh, no, it must be in his stash then. Okay. Sending the courier back here. Cholo Simeon is from Bolivia. Okay, there you go.
Oh, how does he know that? I'm
just
sure,
knows it all.
Quincy is some kind of thesaurus, honestly.
He just knows it all. That's so South America there. So technically from America. Just
He's pretty lying, though.
just
It's like
not North America.
He's pretty making up loads of stuff, as usual.
As
Good
usual.
old Quincy.
He's from the South America.
Falsifying information, as usual.
Anyways, looks like he's back here, so as soon as they're good to go, I'll be ready. See, and I've been using that TP a couple times now here.
It's about damn time.
Obviously, the middle lane, it ultimately backfired when they went for that gank, so I'm sure we'll see them continue to use it, though, especially with that Hellflower eventually coming. No, never mind. Not on the courier yet, so maybe he just bought something else of it, so maybe now he has it in full, or will eventually here. Chipper going the tablet first. So with the tablet especially first, do you still think he could use something like a portal key, or should he go straight into staff next?
I think portal key is always good. Like extra bit of mobility is always useful. I think he's picked up the staff. Picked up the tablet just to sort of get out of Kraken and sort of stop Tempest ultimates as well. I think portal key is decent. Like it helps in terms of chasing, helps to sort of pick offs and ganks. It depends how much mobility he sort of believes and he feels. He's picked up obviously Ghost Marchers as well, and like without having that portal key, like it's a little bit risky because he can easily get sort of caught off, even though he does have the push book. But I don't know. It depends on what kind of mobility he wants. Do you want to have more mobility or more sort of team fight presence? And I guess that's the question he has to ask himself. I think as they're not going to be doing a lot of team fighting, I think portal key would be a little bit better, honestly, because it'll help in terms of ganks and sort of mobility and stuff. So.
Alright, well, we'll see. He's got 1,400 and counting gold saved up now, so at this rate, probably looking for a portal key to follow. But Arcana just picked up by Pharaoh as well, by the way, so he's going for a Hellflower himself. Middle lane initiation. Meantime, speaking of Hellflower, Chipper gets caught in the rocket and misses, but they get the kill on the Doctor nonetheless. So a 1-for-1 exchange so far. Will it be more? Looks like the Pharaoh hook missed. Will it matter in the end? No, it won't necessarily. Now, it matters in the sense they could have possibly got Tempest too, but at least they killed him for us still.
Yeah, I mean, this Rexar team is like making these really weird engagements. Like, obviously they're trying to pick off Chipper, but like the biggest thing is like what we talked in the draft is that they're incredibly strong as 5-man when they have their core arms. Once the Astrolabe is picked up on Tempest, when he's picked up the portal key, same goes for Kraken. Yet like they're going like Doctor's going like YOLO onto sort of these heroes, and I mean he's on obviously his side of the river. Like, you have to expect Nullstone to be there as well. All of them are off the map, almost baiting out the Chipper, and as a result, like he gets sort of picked off and now obviously Token now on Nullstone Gaming, and this is what I was talking about. They need like 6,000 or 7,000 gold lead to really take team fights, and with this Congor, it's going to definitely secure them. Actually, Ninfor TP in though, they're going to try and defend.
Oh my god, they are. They're right on top of Chipper too as soon as he walks by, so Congor's still going to be well alive. Hellflower on Chipper in the meantime. That's a great target to do it on, of course. Kelfield in the background. They get the quick kill on a Glacius. Will there be more? It looks like a Gemini. He's being locked down. He has to eventually. Twin Pigs away. Going to be fine for the meantime, but Pharaoh also going to fall. Now they get the kill on Bubbles and Enforce. So far 2 for 2. It could be more though. Chainsaw's already used. Focus buffer's up. He has rockets. Release the Kraken though, catches him. And Chipper will go down. So definitely a 1 fight there for our Legion side.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about. Their team fight is incredibly strong with Tempest and Kraken, and obviously with Bubbles thrown in the mix as well. Like, and this is where they're strong. And finally, Rexars are realizing, okay, this guy's 5. Like, we can't lose a team fight if we go as 5 because we've just got the superior team fight and the superior AOE. They sort of defended Congor as they should, and now this is obviously going to put Nullstone a little bit on the back foot. They have lost their golden experience leads by quite a bit, and obviously now it's going to be a question of can they take these team fights if they're not 6,000-7,000 gold lead ahead. And yeah, they have the puzzle box. Yeah, they have some good farm on Gemini, but where's the AOE? Where's the AOE ultimates? Like, it's just not there compared to say the Rexars. And them missing out on that combo kill is a little bit big. Rexars might even try and steal it actually if they realise how low it is, but
yeah,
maybe going to decide against it.
in that area here, but obviously nobody ultimately going for it just yet. Congor going to slowly regen that life of his, and yes, he does, kind of waiting it out, over 6,000 life now, so looks like both teams kind of just giving up in that area and instead going to farm elsewhere, as Nifora heads bottom with Doctor. Again, Nifora basically just babysitting Doctor throughout this whole game. That's what you would expect, though, with the idea of that synergy of the heroes there. Kraken, of course, the portal key picked up on him.
Yeah, I mean, with Nymphora just sitting Dr. Repulsor, it almost allows Dr. Repulsor to act as like a sand wraith, because whenever a team fight busts out, you can just port Doctor into the team fight, so pretty strong in that respect.
Is there engagement here? No, that's a fake Kraken, so never mind. Chipper realizing that right away as, again, the Ballista, another Ballista being controlled by what you got right here, playing the Parasite, so roaming around with that constantly, seeing if looking for any opportunities. And in a sense, I mean, it's kind of like really just as powerful as a Wild Hunter, really, when you think about it, as far as going in for ganks. I mean, sure, you can be seen, you don't have the Windwalk ability, but at the same time, you're magic immune, and that's kind of the big thing. You can't get caught out, at least in most cases.
Going back into Congor.
But yeah, checking out Congor
This is risky.
I don't know if they're going to do it, though. It's like, just thinking about it, maybe not, though. I just know it's a little too risky. So focus buff are continuing to be applied. Is that being leveled up? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he has maxed out Tar and Rocket, so now it's being leveled up.
Yeah, so
500 magic damage absorption.
So for Null Gaming there, I think there's almost one of two strategies they can go for. They can go for, in terms of right now, they can go for trying to keep on ganking, try and get those pickoffs. They've got the heroes to do it. They've got Pharaoh and Parasite and Chipper. You know, try and keep going aggressive and sort of almost find Rexars when they're not as 5 and sort of pick them off from there. Or they can probably go sort of late game and go sort of the hard carry, because Gemini's going to be able to out carry this Doctor Repulsor. But that's going to be 40-50 minutes down the line. And in the meantime, they're sort of doing neither. They're not really going for ganks, sort of AFK farming, and I don't know if this is the right play to make, because Rexars, they're farming better, if not decently, or if not better than Null Gaming, and they still have the better team fight. They're looking to sort of go for a ganks, but at the same time, Rex is always staying as 5, so it's a little bit hard for really Nullstone to sort of play that ganking sort of style of strategy if Rex is always as 5. Top lane though.
There's a jump from Parasite, and all of a sudden Bubbles, I was looking at that on my mini-map, I was like, Bubbles is fine, but I didn't notice Parasite was up there. Sure enough, he was. That little red dot, and eventually comes out of the catapult, and I guess he had the Wild Hunter in that case. It gets the kill. Of course, Puzzle Box is doing work as well. They deny the tower, but actually, Rexar's in the vicinity here, and this could get interesting. Nymphora's in trouble. Puzzle Boxes find him, and yep, Nymphora's going to be caught out with the Mummy Walls on top of the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Big stun. No! I thought that hit Doctor for a second, but actually he does escape with the ludicrous speed, and it's going to be fine. The Twin Fang stun, if that landed, that was a 2-second stun. Very likely would have been followed up on, so that was very close to getting more out of it, but hey, they're happy with the bubbles and the Nymphora, I'm sure, and it could be more as Tempest also waiting around here in the middle lane. There we go, the talent from Chipper. He's got the rock. Oh, it misses all 3! And the invis are popped by Tempest. They don't have dust or anything, so that's a little unfortunate. Because I'm sure he popped the invis, but if he hit those rockets and then chainsaws right after, it could have been a kill, but
I don't know, well. Tempest is pretty tanky.
He is, that's true. He does have Astrolabe too, so would have been close. But anyways,
he picks up Bottle as well, actually.
Yep.
We don't see Bottle and Tempest too much.
The My Nuts build.
I was going to say, actually, My Nuts used to do it all the time. But so yeah, Chipper's looks like he's going to go Staff straight away then. Going to miss the portal key, which is fine. They have been doing a little bit more team fight, and obviously it helps in terms of ganks as well. But
yeah.
What's Pharaoh got? Pharaoh must have something else.
He had at least one Arcana. So.
Alright, okay, right. He's going to help. Yeah, that's fine. Great pickup against Dr. Repulsor. Like, without ludicrous speed, Dr. Repulsor is incredibly squishy and incredibly easy to deal with. So I like the item pickup from Pharaoh, actually. Good item pickup.
The Chilling Presence being leveled up here by Glacius too, and that's, of course, now increases the max mana of everyone as well as the mana regen, so.
I think that's only really useful in terms of laning phase, really, because, like, yeah, it helps in terms of farming, I guess, like for Gemini, but it's not that useful, really. I don't know. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
But
come later game, it's like not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's like, well, useful in later stage because you can just spam out your spells. Good for farming, I guess, but not much outside of that.
He's taking away damage from his skin. In fact, he actually puts another point in his Tundra Blast there. So it's kind of interesting build here, kind of a 2-3-3-1, not your usual, but I think he's one of those heroes. So depending on the situation, everything goes different places.
Oh, Kraken! Oh my God!
Kraken going in, whiffs the initiation. They are TPing him with Nymphoria though. Chipper does get locked down after, but Kraken already falls. They get the counter kill though, but now goes to 4, so 2 for 1. And Doctor able to ludicrous speed away. So meanwhile down here, actually, another fight taking place as Tempest got caught going for a flank.
Man, like,
and he's going to end up falling. Yeah, Rexar's decisions
again,
here.
Like they're so strong as 5, yet they're taking 2 or 3 team fights like differently. It doesn't make sense. Like they've got great AoE elements, so then they should use them. Like, and at the moment they're sort of playing into Nullstone Gaming's hands. Like Nullstone Gaming, they have no AoE, so they've got the greatest team fights, and yet, you know, they're taking. Oh, Pharaoh don't die. Oh my god, no, it's gonna be fun. I thought he was gonna drop the Congor there, but yeah, like Nullstone Gaming are doing perfectly as they should, taking these sort of split team fights, and it really does disjoint the AoE sort of elements here from Rexars. And as a result, Rexars are paying actually by quite a hefty price. And if they lose Congor now as well, give token on Gemini, then definitely that late game presence is going to be a factor for Gemini. He has increased his farm a little bit, still below Doctor Repulsor, but expect that to be boosted up near the later stages of the game as well, though. So.
Oh yeah. Now he's starting to really pick up some stronger items here. Of course, that helps with that. The Abyss is going to Firebrand. We'll probably see the, I don't know, it depends from Gemini to Gemini here. Will we see the Frostburn, Interventional Dawnbringer? Will we see the straight Geometer's Bane? He's got the options, and it's a matter of what he prefers here. Geometer's Bane, you know, again, it's always kind of a funky item on a Gemini especially, but... Oh, it's Doctor? Doctor's in trouble. That is the real Doctor Repulsor. Nice, seals double the rockets. Oh! He just sidestepped him. That was big. Parasite still going. The Mandiver comes out from the puzzle box. He wants his kill, though. Get the kill. As the chainsaws come out from Chipper to secure the job, and more rockets now following. Duggars before Savage 6 streak for what you got right here, and he wants more. Bubbles in trouble. Bubbles goes down. He is now officially dominating here, and even looking for more.
Tempest not there, though. Again.
Oh, Kraken. Yeah, he gets away. But yeah, not as a team in full, and doesn't work out. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, obviously I'm blaming Rexos here, but again, Nullstone doing as they should, honestly, like really capitalising on Rexos not being S5. They have the great mobility, and actually they're going to take off Tempest here in the mid lane as well, so everything's going the way of Nullstone.
Why is he pushing middle like that by himself?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Against a very jump-heavy team, that's very risky and clearly does not work.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit strange. Maybe they're a little bit tilted, honestly, from game 1, but either way, Nullstone are really taking advantage of this.
That's possible, yeah. The start that Doctor was having was looking very scary for Nullstone Gaming, but they really were not able to make the greatest use of it. I mean, you talked about the potential of that combination being very scary, arguably even more scary than the Pebbles Nymphora, but we have not seen a whole lot of that. It just really has not been working out. And now, that's not because they haven't been using it once again. It's just simply the execution hasn't been its finest, and sure enough, that's where we're at. As I say that, wait, what happened up here? Was that an illusion? No, that was the real Chipper. He poured it out, though. Okay. I kind of caught the end of that, but Chipper able to pour it out before he ends up getting killed right there, so well played. Yeah, Chipper Parasite, obviously two very aggressive heroes, especially in the early to mid game. Not too surprising to see them up there as far as win record goes, especially when they have the kills that they have here. So, yeah, more good signs for Nullstone Gaming, and again, they're already up 1-0 on top of it all. There's another tower kill.
I'm pretty sure he's got every single tower kill and tower deny with this catapult. So funny.
Doing
little Congor, little troll.
Pulling it around, doing his bidding. 8-0-5 here for Parasite. So yeah, what you got?
Oh man, he's been on it. Like,
really
I think I sort of had a couple of questions in terms of his early game, in terms of him obviously rotating into the enemy jungle, but he definitely has bounced back to what he was at the start, definitely.
30 minutes in, so Rexar's trying to hang in here at this point. I mean, a Shrunken Head on Doctor, that's a big pickup, especially against the likes of what's on Nullstone here, so that could be somewhat of a difference maker.
I mean, he definitely does need it. There's a lot of magic damage coming out from Nullstone, obviously the Hellflower as well, but normally when you go Shrunken Head, like, before getting 2 big mana items, like normally you see like Hellflower and Sheepstick and then the Shrunken Head, because like if you go Hellflower and Shrunken Head, then he's going to be, honestly, he's going to have a lot of mana issues. Yeah, he does have the Nymphora, which is probably the reason why he's gone Shrunken Head here instead of another sort of intelligence item. He still could be in a little bit of issues, because I mean, Drox Repulsor wastes mana so quickly, and that's why normally I prefer to have 2 mana items before you go Shrunken Head. He does have the Nymphora backing up as well, I guess, so he does need the Shrunken Head, so probably not the baddest of decisions, I guess, but
a little bit of tower exchanging going on right here between the two teams. You got the top lane now. Doctors, they're acting like he's by himself, but Nullstone, you see, they're not really phased by that. They're still going to be pushing in. Now, as I say that, Cholos, I mean, it is up here. He's going to go out of Dr. Repulsor. So will the bait be successful here? The lockdown strong. Pharaoh goes down. But at what cost here? The lockdown that release the Kraken hits them as they TP in. A beautiful release the Kraken. Glacius goes down. Tempest, can he get a big ultimate? Not even necessary right there. That's what it was, actually, excuse me. And they get more kills. So, yeah, they poured right into the death trap right there. That's exactly what Rexars was hoping for. And it worked.
And they might even get wrecked here. Like, I mean, Nullstone, they're still far ahead. They were like 10, 12,000 gold ahead, and they had the token, yet you can see the potential of the team fight from Rexars. And honestly, a great trap, but Nullstone just a little bit gullible, honestly.
Gemini goes in with those twin fangs. See Parasite again doing his thing, but now he's in trouble. As or Pharaoh more so is. They're locking down Dr. Postal. Can they actually kill him? Yes, they can. The first is real as he goes down. The port outs now from Rexars. Looks like the rest will be successful. So, I mean, they get a little bit damaged. They did get the tower kill, but actually they do lose Dr. Repulsor. So maybe a little bit of overcommitment there. Buyback was used on only Pharaoh. So it wasn't more than that. And Gemini, obviously, a big part of that stand as well. So really the big picture, as good as that was initially for Rexars, I think actually ended pretty poorly there. And now Nullstone Gaming still continues to be in a fine spot. In fact, full Dawnbringer just finished on Gemini, as he's level 16 now as well. So he's starting to really advance onto a very scary mark here.
I mean, still though, the team fight from Rexars should not be understated. Obviously, they did have a perfect trap there set for Nullstone Gaming, but still, like they were like 12, 13,000 gold behind and just wrecked that team fight because it's just big Tempest and Kraken ultimates, put simply. And obviously they were fighting against Token the last time, so the next team fight should be even easier for Rexars as well. But still, they've got a massive golden experience deficit to really come back from, and they'll need a few more team fights like that to get back into it.
Yeah, scouting out the elementals right here is Rexars, making sure they don't go into anywhere blindly. As you see on the mini-map right now, the ward control is well in favor of Nullstone Gaming here. Map control, whatever you want to call it. In fact, like the Legion jungle is pretty much taken over by Nullstone as far as vision goes. So, yeah, Rexars could really use some good vision right here. I know they're trying. You got 3 ward asides currently on Nymphora. They do got one in the aggressive Hellborn jungle that's about to wear out, but even that, again, I think it's safe to say they need more of the defensive wards here, if anything. So one's going to be placed near their Ancients, and Nymphora going for another, looks like in the Hellborn jungle even. So, we'll see where how that continues to advance on with, but no, at the same time, yeah, so Rexars maybe didn't end the prettiest, but still, it really did show, as you pointed out, their team fight potential is there, and if it all comes together, they definitely have good chances still left in this game. I mean, hell, just last game, we were talking about how Nullstone, they were down by nearly these marks here, and eventually won it in the end with the final push. So, we feel like we've also been seeing quite a bit of that here. As what are we pointing out here about Parasite? Parasite's really the hero they need to address. Over 300 gold per minute, he's extremely difficult to beat. 30 games, he has an 86.7% win percentage. Yeah, I think we've even seen that before, a similar stat. That yeah, even with only 300 gold per minute, Parasite is very effective for your team, and that's just one of the reasons why he's very useful pickup usually. Not only can be a jungler, you get him the levels alone. He doesn't necessarily need that crazy farm. He'll do a lot for you nonetheless. And once again, seeing that here at 9-0-6. So he's undefeated at 360 plus. So that's even more to the reason why. Oh boy, that's one of those awkward times of oops, hit the old chat button there. So just giving some information out of the other team. No big deal. Obviously, it's they're fine with that, but it happens. It happens. So I mean, a lot of movement going on here, though. Very quiet time in what's been a pretty action-packed game for the most part. And both teams kind of continue to kind of feel things out here.
Yeah, and I mean, it almost does sort of favour Nullstone Gaming in this respect, though. Because obviously they've got Gemini, a great late game carry. He's going to be able to carry harder than Dr. Repulse. So the only issue is that it's going to be Gemini kind of against the rest of the Rexars team, because Pharaoh, Chipper, Parasite, and Glacius all fall off quite heavily in terms of the late game. And when they've got Tempest and Kraken to offer that, the superior lockdown, it's going to be hard, honestly, for Gemini, unless he's sort of completely six-slotted to really carry this game for Nullstone Gaming. And yeah, they are obviously ahead by quite a bit, but I don't know, man. It's going to be, honestly, a lot of work for Beaverbanger, but if there's anyone who can do it, it's going to be him, of course, but still, it's going to be hard.
See middle lane, again, kind of a trapping setup, at least that's the idea here. And Bubbles doing their thing, but you got Dr. Pulse somewhat nearby. Instead, he's going to go elsewhere, though. Doctor, it's been a while since he's had his next bigger item. you know, it's being saved up for 3,300 gold saved up. He's got the Shrunken, got the Hellfire. He's still sitting on a mana battery. It's always kind of interesting seeing that. In fact, Bubble's also the same play. He's not even upgrading it at this point to a full power supply, but would assume maybe going to just replace that eventually with another bigger, better item as they make their way to the bottom lane. Now, a lot of just really, they're really trying to get some good baits here. As worked out so well for them earlier, but I think in a sense Nullstone came and kind of learned from that lesson too. The next time they see somebody kind of pushing by themselves, they're going to be extra careful, knowing that it could very likely be that bait that happened earlier.
Oh, top lane.
Top lane, what we got up here? Oh, yeah, an important beam. They find Pharaoh, actually, but they need to be careful with this, because here comes Gemini. Pharaoh, he's somewhat tanky. He's going to survive long enough, and now here's the return. Dr. Bull's in trouble. Dr. Bull's will send the rocket snipe out in for...
oh, my God.
I mean, you can't blame them for the attempt, but...
oh, man.
That backfired.
Oh, dear. Those shooter rockets were like halfway across the map, it felt like.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hellflower on Pharaoh as well, obviously pretty big there.
Oh, Sheepstick on Parasite. How farmed this guy?
Really, jeez. Yeah, 9-0-6 now, 400 plus gold per minute, so...
So now they've got Hellflower and Sheepstick already locked down Doc's Repulsor, like, oh, man. Yeah, obviously they've got great Tempest and Kraken, but if they can't honestly help out Doc's Repulsor getting locked down, they don't have the greatest damage, honestly. Like, they've got a great lockdown, obviously, with the Tempest Ultimate and the Kraken armor, but where's the damage if Doc's Repulsor's getting locked down? Just it's not going to be there, honestly, so... whew, man.
Congor, he's being attempted, more so dying fairly quickly here in favor of Nullstone. That's going to definitely be a token of life on Gemini, I'm sure. He's got a plus door, by the way. There's the Alchemist bones. I was touching that earlier of were we going to see that or not here, and sure enough we do. Denver Pro picking it up. Playing the bubbles once again to kind of counter the puzzle box from Parasite, specifically the Mauler is what it usually seems like it's used for. So that's becoming more and more of a trend as of late. And so he's got them picked up here. We'll see how much of an impact that truly has in this game. But yeah, you mentioned the Sheepstick on Parasite, crazy stuff there. And what did Gemini just purchase? A Nullstone, interesting, okay.
They have to get at least one, just to
That's
sort
true.
of...
It is their team name after
signature.
all. Yeah, I mean, on a serious note, though, I mean, you look at this Legion team, is Nullstone really the great option? I don't know. They have very few single target, I guess.
It's decent against the Hellflower from Dr. Repulsor, obviously, and the opposite charges, but outside of that, maybe the Glacial Blast from Tempest, but I really don't like it. Like, if you want to get tanky, just build a Behemoth's Heart. But yeah, it's going to help with mana regeneration, but I mean, he has a Dawnbringer. He doesn't need mana. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why, to me, it seems a little bit weird. I'm not really too sure.
Maybe it's their team name. No, he sold it. Never mind. So yeah, maybe he had a second guessing like we kind of did. Kraken gets caught, by the way, but here comes the TP in from Nymphora with the rest. But Parasite's already gone. In fact, Sparrow says, screw it, let's go YOLO right here. Hellflower on a Dr. Repulsor. The puzzle box minions trying to do enough. Not going to be enough, though, as Tempest comes in. He has an ultimate ready. Doctor comes flying back in himself with that Shrunken Egg Chipper, but with the Shrunken Egg, obviously going to mitigate plenty right here. Bubbles, meanwhile, he gets caught out. Kraken buys back, release the Kraken, but it's just on the Solar Parasite. And no one to really support the Twin Fang stuns and misses, but not with this split up. Look at the damage. The split up dog doing so much. And down goes Kraken, so kind of an interesting back and forth fight there once again. So the Nymphora TP support was there, but obviously in the end, it doesn't work out ultimately. Sure, they got to kill Pharaoh, but they lost more. And this is going to be a middle push, maybe? Looks like, yeah, maybe not.
Oh, they're so far ahead now, Nullstone Gaming.
Tokens, 3 minutes remaining on it, too.
Yeah, like nearly 20,000 experience and 15,000 gold, and this is what I was saying. Like even though the team fight there for Rexars is clearly pretty superior, but you know 15,000 gold does a lot more weight than just a couple of ultimates here from Rexars. And I mean you got Sheepstick now on Parasite, obviously we talked about Portal Key now on Chipper, and obviously 4,000 gold sitting on Gemini. So he's going to pick up the Frostwolf actually.
Yeah,
so,
that makes more sense.
It's just a little bit strange though, if he's gonna, split Gemini.
He doesn't have it yet, so he's not as tanky, but yeah, Twin Fangs and he's good. Meanwhile,
Parasite's
Parasite, maybe that's why, because he was kind of nearby too, and so they figure let's get a guaranteed kill onto him, as they do.
Bloodbath, oh my god, Bloodbath streak for Doctor Repulsing that. It's pretty big.
That's news.
But I was just gonna say, like, if he's picked up, he's got the Dawnbringer and he's got the. I thought he was gonna split it up, but no, he just got it by himself. I was gonna say, well, if he's gonna if he's gonna break up the Dawnbringer, then why does he pick up the Lightbrand? Why not keep it at Frostburn? But if he's just gonna go complete into Frostwolf Skull, then I guess it makes sense. I guess, but pretty.
Alrighty then. I don't know. That's kind of curious to me, though. At that point, aren't you better off getting a Behemoth's Heart? I just feel like is this efficient what he's doing here?
No. Behemoth's Heart is definitely a lot more efficient because obviously you're not stacking in terms of the Frostburns, and I mean, and the Frostbrand is like one of the worst inefficient items. So he definitely should have gone Behemoth's Heart. Oh, he's still so tanky though, even without it. Oh.
Anyways, yeah, we do see right here initiation coming out. Chainsaws, but the Shrunken Head once again from Doctor. But Gemini's like, yeah, I don't care. I got physical damage, bitch. Wrath of the Pharaoh's going to miss right there. That was very close. Good attempt, but Chilo Simon not able to land that one. And the run is real. Gemini chases it down. That they are. He's trying to really get a stun in here. It's difficult, though, with Gemini stunned appropriately. But before at least will die.
Worse. That could have been so much worse. Like they split off their 3v2. And we talked about how strong they are as a team, but when they get split off like that, that could be devastating. But still, they get a kill onto an Infora, but the biggest of deals. But I mean, they're still going to be able to defend 4v5. Token is still up actually for 50 seconds, so they should just go all in. I think.
Yeah.
Gemini won't die once, let alone twice. I don't think, but they're going to back off. Though, play it safe, perhaps. No, they're going back in. I don't know.
Well, again, he's got the token for 35 seconds plus. Really, it's close, so you might as well try to make something of it. But yeah, this is a risky thing where it's like, if you don't really use it, you take a lot of damage, then you're kind of just screwing yourself in that sense. Yeah, it's just not worth it, and I agree with that. You got a comfortable lead here. Let's not really push you. Let's not have something where you die right as it wears off, and then that would be the worst case, obviously. So.
And the team fight from Rex shouldn't be underestimated, particularly if they're defending high ground as well. So. It's a safe play to make. They've got great map control. They can just wait till next Congor. And like I said, like Gemini 6-slitted, incredibly scary. So.
I wonder if he's going to go for Behemoth's Heart now, on top of
just crazy tank.
Yeah. Well, again, that's the great thing about Gemini, though. It's crazy tank / a lot of extra damage because of his passive.
Armor penetration, pretty decent.
Yep.
Decent.
It just makes sense. Stone on Tempest, I mean, he still has a waste for that. I assume that's going to be next in line, though. 2,000 gold saved up. He's at, I believe, I always check that. I think it's 5,200, but yeah, 5,200 gold. So needs that. Kraken, you know, he's really hasn't done a whole lot as far as item progression goes. He's got the basics here as far as Initiator goes, but something like a Soul's Borer could be useful. Doesn't have it, though, unfortunately, yet.
And one iron build that I rarely see, but I think it's really strong actually on Kraken is Restoration Stone. Like we get Restoration Stone on Tempest all the time because of his ultimate, but Kraken is arguably has as strong of an ultimate as Tempest. So why doesn't he pick up?
We have seen that before. I want to say like last weekend we saw somebody pick that up and we mentioned it.
Resto keep Kraken is so strong. Like there was one, there's one guy who plays Kraken on Tim all the time and he always picks up Resto and he like always like trashes me.
No, I mean,
don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it works really well.
Absolutely,
really
I definitely agree with you there. You definitely can't underestimate the power of a release of Kraken. I mean, it's not.
You can charge ulti and then charge ulti again.
Yeah.
It's like 6-7 seconds of lockdown. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those cases. You know, maybe if you had a sheepstick too. Obviously, at that point, that's crazy luxury. I mean, that's late game, but still.
I think Resto's better than sheepstick though at this time.
Well, ever since the Resto got that change too, I think that was almost overlooked in a sense where. Remember, Restoration Stone got changed. That was the patch even before Season 2, I think. Yeah, depending on the cooldown of your ability. So that made it, even stronger. And I thought we were going to actually start seeing a lot more on certain heroes, but it really just stays on, Tempest, the Keeper, and a Wretched.
Put it on carries, Dark Lady.
There you go. Get it on Dark Lady now. You can get it on Dr. Repulsor.
Get it on everyone. Yeah, Dr. Repulsor as well.
Everybody.
Makes you ulti even better.
No, but the ultimate hero would be honest is something like a Midas though. Especially with that change, because he can triple quad stun people if he does it correctly. It's crazy.
I wonder what the cooldown is though for.
Because it's 30 seconds then plus whatever, and his cooldowns in general aren't that long, especially at level 3 ulti. So
like 40 or 50 probably.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty short cooldown overall. So I'm just saying that might be the new meta. That's ahead of us though, and we'll have to wait for somebody to finally bust that out. But Gemini, 2,700 gold and counting now. Sure, another Congor. Whoa, where are we reporting to? Nope, reporting back to base. Never mind. Seredia has set a new single game. You just love to point out these negative stats, don't you?
Quincy BM in as usual.
Hey, they won. So, to be fair, they won. There's that. So it's okay. Why don't you say that in old chat now? Hey-o. Oh, boy. 111 and 11. I mean, he does have 11 assists, so yeah, he's been accomplishing that at least. Yeah, it's been a tough game. I mean, you got a chip or a Paris, so there's a lot of reasons why he's tying quite a bit. I mean, It's understandable. One of those games. Once again, though, it's another case of let's play the passive game here, and it just seems like that Null Stones is to their favor. But we thought the last game for Rexar, and obviously we knew that, we saw that result. So.
Yeah, I mean, for Rexars now, it's kind of hard in terms of what their game plan should be, because, yeah, if they take it late, they do have the Tempest and Kraken, obviously Dr. Pulsar, but then they're going to be going against a 6-slotted Gemini, and they have the lockdown. I just don't think they'll even be able to kill him, though. Like, they have, obviously, good lockdown and sort of counter-initiation from Nullstone, and they have great team fight, but if they're 14, 15,000 gold behind, do they even want to take team fights? And every single time they have tried to utilise the Nymphora Dr. Pulsar, that ended up backfiring. So for Rexars, it's almost every single sort of play they could make is sort of failed, but they are going to go for a Nymphora gank here again, actually, into the top lane, and they are spotted out, actually. Oh, they haven't rev-warded, though. That's the latest thing, but...
That's going to be counter-warded.
Yeah, that's been counter-warded instantly, but oh well.
In fact, they're already coming up here, and actually, yeah, that's a dead Nymphora. Chipper just literally walks right up, says hello, and gets the easy kill. Yeah, they obviously saw them there as a result of their own ward aside, so...
Bubble starts mid as well.
Oh, did he? Wow, man.
Pharaoh solo, I believe.
Pharaoh doing the solo thing.
Yeah.
Making some kills. Now, there you go. What you got actually tying his single game record of 11 kills, but... and there we go with Serenia, his own record of deaths in a game. Congratulations, Serenia.
Reverse Immortal incoming.
Reverse Immortal incoming. The panty! The panty. Let's just call it the panty. Don't even call her, just call it the panty.
Oh, man.
I hope he's tuning in right now.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, but Panny said if you wanted a caster for next series, he's available if you would like.
Why would we do that?
Blue. I don't know. Panny asked.
Why would we ever have Panny on? Oh man, the BM is real. I love Panty. Yeah, no, I don't want to be against that. We'll see.
Cool.
Tormented Soul scouting out, and Congor is back up, obviously. So, Nullstone Gaming gonna be looking like they're doing it as they do. Gemini goes in. He has another 5,300 gold saved up early. So his next big item going to be incoming. Legion team though. Rexar's not going to give this up easy though. Trying to make a stand right here. You see there's some good vision from Trent's actually on the hill over here.
I mean, a team fight around Congor would heavily favour Rexars because they've got great AoE synergy. Oh, they're going in actually.
Yeah, Doctor goes into the background, a pretty big split once again. They find Glacius right here, but here comes Pharaoh, and now Dr. Pulsar, he's like a Dr. Pulsar. All of a sudden, they just nothing as a result of the crazy burst once again from Nullstone Gaming. I mean, he has a Nullstone, but that clearly was not enough against Nullstone Gaming. He does buy back, by the way, and the chase is on once again. Gemini needs to be a little careful, though. Is he going in too deep right here? I think he just might have. Yes, he did. And the counterburst over the top of the actually catches two. And Glacius is going to fall. Chipper goes down. And the return from Rexars is absolutely real. Gemini did buy back, by the way. Parasite, he goes to the puzzle box. Here we go. Gemini, twin pings in. He gets one stun. He's doing good auto attack damage. Down goes Bubbles. Kraken's in trouble. It's just a game of back and forth right here. Chipper comes back as well. And down goes Kraken. We've seen him before with the TP attempt. Ain't going to happen as the sheepstick comes out. Dr. Pulsar, he is still alive. He's trying to run from Pharaoh. He's low on mana, though. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this. Parasite is chasing. Has a portal key coming up. Chipper as well is here. There's the chainsaws. There's the goo. There's the rockets. And down it goes. Big all-out hat trick for Chipper. And what looked like a huge Rexars to win that fight. The buyback response from Nullstone was clearly too much. And they're going cutthroat, actually. They're going to go right for the middle base. I don't know about this. I mean, there are buybacks here on the Legion side, so I guess they're just going to force it.
They should force it and back off, I think, is the right play to make. You know, Tempest ultimate as well as Kraken ultimate is down, though, and they are quite AoE sort of reliant, actually. And buyback is used, though.
There we go. Rax is dropping. Of course, Tempest doesn't have a second ultimate. Here we go. Release Kraken. No, he doesn't have it either. They just jump in, going for the auto attack and a couple other abilities. Gemini gets pulled in, but he's able to twin pings in time. But here comes the ludicrous speed chase, and Dr. Pulsar gets the kill that they came for. It's a beautiful stand by Rexars. The buybacks are successful. They get a second onto Pharaoh. And yeah, the reaction from Nullstone was not quick enough. They needed to get back. They did not. And they clearly, well, it backfired on them, I guess. So here's the Nymphora TP, by the way. Yep, they're chasing. Chipper's now caught. And Chipper, there's a regen route here, but I don't think that's going to really come into play. Bubble steals it in front of him, in fact, gets a kill. There's the Alchemist Bones actually takes Parasite out of the Minotaur. And what you got going suicidal. Oh boy, are the throws real here?
He was fine. Like, I'm really surprised that that happened. Like, oh man, like he could easily run down, sort of down into the Legion jungle. Instead, he like runs into the team fight and then gets picked off. It's professional, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, okay, yeah, the buybacks. Yep, look at that. Jeez, after that fight, look at the buyback situation now. Multiple heroes do not have any more buybacks. In fact, Infor gets caught by Pharaoh here, and she will fall. But that's gonna be the end of that. And now they're gonna get Congor themselves. So when it's all said and done, Nullstone Gaming actually is gonna end up with a Congor kill. That was a crazy fight. I mean, really over the last 2.5, 3 minutes, it went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and now it's gonna finally end with Nullstone stealing Congor, or so getting Congor, and that means bananas as well for Pharaoh here. So, jeez, yeah. So it ends.
Both of these games gone so late.
Yeah, jeez.
So long. But yeah, I mean, now it's getting to the stage of honestly where the golden experience is obviously a big impact in terms of the team fights, obviously. But if either Gemini or Dr. Pulsar does get picked off, this could easily be quite game breaking, honestly, because I think they'd be able to push Rex either way. So. This is going to be very, very close, actually. And I mean, obviously, we saw in the last game where that one, the Vara pick was honestly all that it took for Nullstone Gaming to sort of push in and take the wreck. So
yeah, the quad catapult or ballista push top. That's what you guys. I don't know why he's complaining. They just take one of those. Oh, he already has one. Yeah, gotta kill the others here. So kind of curious how they got up there, but they did. There's the rest still stone on Tempest once again. So he's got the post ace. So really kind of an all-in style there. Coming out, they know that they're quite behind here, and they're going to need some big Tempest ultimates to be happening to have a good chance in this game. But you look at the resources here on the Hellborn side. Obviously, they got both Parasite and Pharaoh to take care of it. TP somewhere. We're going to the top lane, it looks like. Gemini and Glacius are up here. Glacius, you're 100% dead. Gemini should be fine. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. Yeah, they might figure out it might be bait, which they're kind of right. Actually, Gemini gets cut out too. They haven't even killed Glacius yet. They want Gemini. They go for Gemini. They get that kill. But at what cost here? Release the Kraken tablet out there right away as soon as he resurrects. Here we go. Pharaoh jumping in as well. No one wants just yet. Parasite though in the background. He locks down Tempest. Gets the silence off. The second Tempest ultimate is ready to go, but he doesn't have a chance for it just yet. He has a chance for it now, but there's zero follow-up. He portal keys away immediately, realizing that they're trying to play the getaway game now once again. Kraken off to the side. He's not going to survive this. He gets Sheepstick. He eventually goes down, and despite Dr. Pulsar surviving there, again, the big picture, one fight for Nullstone Gaming. I love what they did. That token, though, yeah, absolutely. I like how they didn't even finish off Glacius. They just went for Gemini instead. But, yeah, the token, big plays.
I think Glacius actually died to, like, the creeps, like Legion creeps. Yeah. I think he got stuck in between. But yeah, I mean, Tempest, no Tempest ultimate. Kraken, no buyback, and even the Flora. It's looking rough here for Rex, so they've got to pull some kind of miracle if they want to try and defend here.
Yeah. We got Gemini making their way to the middle lane. Of course, want to go for what is already exposed here in the melee racks. Gemini, the focus buffer on him. He's already so tanky, and that just adds to it. In fact, speaking of tanky, here comes the Behemoth. Sorry, he gets it right there. And now Dr. Pulsar already initiating. They're going for Pharaoh, but it's not going to be that follow-up. And Gemini more than fine as well. So now with the Behemoth are over 4,100 life at max at least. Look at the regional. So kicking in. Melee racks goes down. The range rack's definitely going to fall. So our Legion team needs to play this very careful, knowing they don't have either one of their two Tempest ultimates up. It just makes it so difficult, but this could be it if Nullstone really wants to push for it. It doesn't look like they are, though. They're going to play a little bit safer, and again, understandable, especially when you're already up 1-0 trying to secure the series here. So, going to fall back, play it safe. Rexstars will be able to push up the top lane, but it's how many more chances are they going to get? Really just one more at this rate, you'd feel like it. I mean, again, they get a big double Tempest ultimate. Who knows what can happen? The team fight still remains there. Very powerful. But that's a lot easier said than done. Especially
Post has picked on the Tempest now as well, actually. Post has the Tempest.
Yep.
So they're going to try and have some kind of impact in terms of split pushing if he needs to as well.
Yeah.
Get into the team fights. Invisible Pharaoh, actually, though, now. Oh, man. Do they have any vision? I don't think they do. But oh, dear.
That's in trouble. Pharaoh.
This is so risky.
He's going to get a big initiation right here. He opens with a Hellfire to Bubbles, actually. He's going right for it, locking him down off the bat. Bubbles is going to fall. Now barely survives. He can at least get a kill put off, it looks like, if they need it. Meanwhile, up here, Devil's Ultimate obviously not coming out. Glacier Depor is. Dr. Pulsar in trouble. He's flying away. Nobody dead. Oh, no. Kraken is dead, actually. And make that Bubbles dead as well as Beaver Banger finishes him off. So 2 for nothing. And do either one of them have buybacks? Nope, they do not. Neither one has buybacks. So that could have done it right there. It's just a 3 versus 5. They do not even have a Tempest ultimate yet. And you see Nullstone make their way to the top lane. So Rexars, understandable, going to give it a fighting chance right here, but it's of course. Quincy, come on.
So big.
Come on, man. That's just rude. It's, yeah, again, understandably trying right here. Desperate situation, calls for desperate actions, but it ain't going to happen. Farrell will actually die, but they kill Dr. Pulse, so they're just fine with that. GG, well played. Game 2, going to go to Nullstone Gaming here, and that means the series will go to Nullstone Gaming, 2-0. Yeah, and you see Tempest, at least he led Pulse to finish things off. But it is official. Nullstone Gaming is moving on to the Losers Bracket Finals. Congratulations to them. Their second time they've been in this spot. I believe it was the